Hi everyone, good evening. Is my audio and video clear? Sorry for the delay. Actually, the network was not correct. So I just checked it and now we will begin with our session. A very good evening to all of you. I hope my audio and video everything is clear. Just once let me know in the comment section so that we can have the class in a smooth manner. Okay. All right, so we do this finance core booster series every week we take up one or two sessions related to this and we do a few questions which are very relevant from your exam point of view and which are exam based and it helps you in revising also. We do the same for ESI also, right? Today we're going to cover finance and in the next 1 or 2 days we'll be covering ESI also, okay? So let us now start with the questions. Now, before I begin, if you want to download this YouTube class PDF, you can do it from the Oliveboard app. Just go to the courses section. There's going to be a separate YouTube class PDFs folder. You can download the PDF from here. Okay. So what are we going to cover in today's session? Firstly, we're going to cover the top MCQs from finance, which is important for all regulatory examinations and especially for your RBI grade A and B examination and is important for both phase 1 and phase 2. Take this class as a challenge and let me know at last how many questions you've got correct. All right. First question is from your report, which is your World Economic Outlook report. I have done the detail of this World Economic Outlook report, right? You can check out that session as well. So the IMF's latest World Economic Outlook report increased India's GDP growth forecast for 26-27. What is the revised forecast percentage? Such kind of questions are asked in the examination a lot. The prediction, the forecast, whether it has been revised upwards or downwards, especially by such organizations like IMF, World Bank, RBI, so what is the answer to this question? 6%, 6.2%, 6.4%, 6.3%, or 6.7%? Quickly let me know in the comment section. Hurry up. IMF's latest World Economic Outlook. We have done this World Economic Outlook report in detail and we have discussed this also. So what is the revision of GDP growth forecast for financial year 26-27? Satyarth says E. Anybody else who would want to answer this question? The correct answer is B and not E. It is 6.2%. So it has been revised to 6.2%. Okay. So World Bank increased financial year sorry, IMF, let's talk about IMF first for financial year 25-26. It has been, India's GDP growth forecast for this year, it has been increased, it has been raised by 20 basis points to 6.6%, citing a strong first quarter. Okay? And IMF also revised forecast for 26-27 upwards by 20 basis points to 6.2%. So for the next financial year, it is 6.2%, the revision. Okay? World Bank has also revised forecast for financial year 26 to 6.5% from 6.3%. These details you have to remember. Okay? So IMF has increased to 6.2%. World Bank has increased to 6.5% from 6.3%. Okay? Second question. A business has bank overdraft and bills payable in its trial balance. How will these items be classified in the balance sheet? Current assets, current liabilities, long-term liabilities, fixed liabilities, or none of the above? We are talking about bank overdraft, the overdraft facility, and bills payable. Hanji, so what is the correct answer? How will these items be classified in the balance sheet? Bills payable, bank overdraft, these are kind of your liabilities. So Satyarth has given me B as the answer. The correct answer is B, current liabilities. Okay, because these are payable. You have to give this amount of money. Yeah, you are liable to pay this money later on. Third question. Which of the following statements best explains the function of a balance sheet? It shows the financial position of a firm at a point of time. It reveals profitability of a firm, lists only the assets of a business, only assets of a business. It measures cash inflows and outflows, or all of the above. We are talking about function of a balance sheet. What is it? The correct answer is A, absolutely correct. It shows the financial position of a firm at a point of time. Okay? So balance sheet, it presents financial position of a business on a particular date. It summarizes the assets, liabilities, capital. It complements profit and loss account, which shows performance over time. Balance sheet is static, like a photograph revealing solvency, liquidity, net worth, and all. Right? Okay. A company has the following financial details for the current fiscal year. Your current assets are 2 lakh. Okay, inventory is 50,000, cash and cash equivalents 80,000, current liabilities 1,20,000, accounts receivable 70,000. What you have to calculate is the quick ratio and the current ratio. What is going to be your answer here? Quickly calculate and then give me the answer, everyone. Try to calculate with the given information and let me know the answer. Then we will check it out. Current ratio and quick ratio. Hanji, what is the answer? How do you calculate quick ratio? How do you calculate current ratio? What is the formula? You should be knowing about these basic things, hai na? So the correct answer is C over here. If you see what is the current ratio, current assets upon current liabilities, very easy, super easy. Current assets upon current liabilities. What are your current assets? 2 lakh, है ना? 2 lakh are your current assets and 1,20,000 your current liabilities. So when you try and solve this, you get 20 by 12, 2 tens are 20, 2 6 are 12, and 10 divided by 6, you get 1.67. So your current ratio is 1.67. Now if I talk about the quick ratio mein current asset upon current liabilities, this part is same. It's just that from the assets part, you deduct the inventory from here and then you will get the quick ratio. So 2 lakh minus 50,000, which is your inventory, divided by 1,20,000. Okay, so it's basically 150,000 divided by 120,000, and when you solve this, the answer you get is 1.25. So absolutely correct, Satyarth. C is the correct answer. Current ratio 1.67, quick ratio 1.25. Very, very good. Right? Chali, now question 5 to 7 is based on this particular paragraph. Let's quickly read this and then we'll move on to the questions part. So this is related to your foreign exchange management, which has evolved from highly controlled regime to a progressively liberalized system reflecting countries' integration with global economy. Initially, foreign exchange was treated as scarce resource and policies focused mainly on regulating demand rather than promoting market development. Right? Over the decades, legal frameworks, administrative structures, they have undergone major transformations to align with changing macroeconomic priorities. Liberalization era marked a decisive shift towards facilitating trade, investment, and financial openness. Now, with the gradual relaxation of restrictions, RBI assumed a facilitative rather than a purely regulatory role in foreign exchange market. Policy reforms encourage capital inflows, outward investments, broad-based participation by resident and non-resident entities. The foreign exchange market now supports a wide range of derivative products and exchange-traded instruments to hedge currency risks. India's exchange rate management has also transitioned from a fixed to a market-determined regime, with the central bank intervening only to ensure orderly market conditions. Focus of reserves management has moved toward maintaining stability and liquidity while optimizing returns within prudent limits. Together, these developments underscore India's journey from control to liberalization in foreign exchange policy and management. Good evening, Adi. Now, based on this paragraph, we have questions related to your foreign exchange management and all. So, let's try and solve this. First statutory power for exchange control in India was provided under which of the following acts? FEMA Act of 1999, Foreign Exchange Management Act, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, Defense of India Rules 1939, Exchange Control Ordinance 1955, Foreign Currency Act of 1962. Very easy question. I'm sure you'll be able to do this. Foreign exchange ke liye we discuss about two acts in your classes also, if you guys have been following my classes. So उसमें we have done foreign exchange related 2 acts, very important. Satyarth has given me B as the answer. This is a very easy question and completely kind of static based question only, which you should be knowing. I have received B as the answer, which is absolutely correct. First, we had FERA Act, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, wherein the focus was on regulation mode, more stringent and less liberalization, less freedom. Then we replaced it with FEMA, wherein we are not going to regulate, we'll just manage. We leave everything, we're going to liberalize things, and only sometimes when management is required, in times of volatility or some kind of issue, only then in that case we are going to intervene. ठीक है? India moved to market determined exchange rate system in which year? 1988, 1990, 1993, 1997, 1999. Again, you'll be able to answer this question. Given how we've moved towards the LPG reforms, how we introduced the LPG reforms, you would easily answer this question, because before that we were following a fixed kind of an exchange rate regime, and later on we shifted towards market determined exchange rate. Now, when did that happen? So the earth is saying 6 question C, which is 1993. Anybody else? Adi, what about you? When did India move towards market determined exchange rate system? In which year? The right answer is C, 1993. Okay, we have this LERMS, liberalized exchange rate management system. So India moved to market determined exchange rate system after LERMS was abolished. LERMS was a transitional dual exchange rate system introduced in 1992, but it was replaced by unified floating exchange rate system in March 1993. So 1992 mein we have this liberalized exchange rate management system. Later we changed it towards a unified floating exchange rate. So abhi our exchange rate is floating, but whenever required in the volatile situations and all, we are trying to manage the exchange rate. Okay. Yes, Ashish, C is the correct answer. Which 3 guiding principles govern RBI's management of India's foreign exchange reserve? Liquidity, profitability, leverage, safety, liquidity, returns, stability, flexibility and innovation, diversification, credit and leverage, या फिर interest, inflation and reserves. What is the correct answer out of these? 3 guiding principles which govern RBI's management of India's foreign exchange reserves. 7th question. I've got B as the answer, which is absolutely correct. Okay. Safety, we have safety, liquidity and returns. Okay. Not E, B is the correct answer. Safety and liquidity priority, while returns are optimized within this secure framework. Okay. Question 8 to 10 is depending upon this paragraph, which is related to central bank digital currencies. Very, very important. It is defined by Reserve Bank of India, CBDC, as defined by RBI. It is a digital form of currency notes issued by central bank, which functions as a legal tender. So it is on the, like we have cryptocurrency, on that similar lines we have CBDC also, but it is government controlled. And also CBDC is poised to reduce operational costs, enhance innovation in cross-border payments, address concerns related to money laundering, terror financing, tax evasion. RBI emphasizes that CBDCs will be available in 2 main forms. First is going to be CBDC retail, and second one is going to be wholesale segment. Transactions with the digital rupee can occur through digital wallets, facilitating both person to merchant payments. Via what? Via the QR codes. While maintaining features akin to physical cash such as trust and safety. So we have cryptocurrency like situation over here, but it is more safe and secure. Furthermore, RBI is exploring necessary infrastructure for offline transactions to mitigate risks like double spending, especially considering that a significant portion of India's population lacks reliable internet access. In the face of potential financial crisis, RBI is cautious about risks of bank runs and disintermediation. Bank run kya hota hai? When everybody is running towards the bank to take out their deposits. And emphasizing need for careful management of CBDC implementation to ensure financial stability and security. Okay? So question number 8 is based on CBDC. Retail CBDC is an electronic version of cash primarily meant for retail transactions. It will be used by all private sector, non-financial consumers and businesses. Which among the following are key features of retail CBDC? We have three options over here, three statements. First is that it can earn interest like traditional bank deposits. Second is it facilitates both person to person and person to merchant transactions. Third is that users must have a bank account to transact with it. So you have to choose the correct option out of these. 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 2 only, या फिर 1, 2 and 3. Read these three statements carefully and then give me the answer. Which of these are correct? Can it, earn interest like traditional bank deposits? Can it facilitate both person to person and person to merchant transactions? Users must have a bank account to transact with it. What is the answer? Eighth question D, eighth question A. The correct answer is D, which is 2 only. Second is the correct answer. First and third statements are incorrect. So this retail CBDC, which is your e-rupee. What do you call it? E-rupee. It is a digital version of cash. It supports various transaction types and is issued in same denomination as physical currency. It does not earn interest. The first statement गलत हो गया. And users do not necessarily need a bank account. जरूरी नहीं है आपके पास bank account. ठीक है? That is why first and last statements over here are incorrect. Second वाला is correct. ठीक है? The e-rupee India CBDC represents a digital version of Indian rupee issued and regulated by RBI. Launched to modernize India's payment systems, the e-rupee faces some challenges. Which of the following is a potential challenge associated with the implementation of CBDCs like the e-rupee in India? First, lack of trust in digital currency among foreign investors. Over-reliance on cryptocurrency like mining for security. Concerns for cyber frauds. 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3, 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only. Again, read these three statements. So you have to talk about the challenges of CBDC over here. Ninth, I have received B as the answer, but the correct answer is D, which is 3 only. Okay? So here they were asking you which of the following is a potential challenge associated with the implementation of CBDC. The answer is D, which is 3 only, concern for cyber frauds. Okay? Okay, so basically CBDC, which is e-rupee, it is a digital form of fiat currency which is issued by Reserve Bank of India. So it is a legal tender only. Okay? Ma'am, your first is wrong. Acha, you mean the questions that you've done? Usme se first is wrong. So basically here if you see, it's a legal tender. That means RBI is issuing it. That means there is less amount of risk. So lack of trust will not be the problem here. Okay? It serves as legal tender. It can be freely exchanged from one currency to another currency. CBDC is centralized, regulated by RBI, unlike the other cryptocurrencies, and therefore investor confidence is boosted in this. These are secure and transparent. That is why investors will love to invest in something like this. Okay? Plus, it would move from competitive mining. So, in your cryptocurrency, competitive mining is used, which is a negative thing. Private cryptocurrencies mein, because that is algorithmic based, है ना? So biggest challenge for digital innovation like CBDC is cyber fraud, not this competitive mining, because that is not in, but that is not in case of your CBDC. In private cryptocurrencies, there is a problem of competitive mining, but CBDC ensures that this problem is not there in this legal tender. अच्छा, ninth question. I hope you've got it. ठीक है? Why these first two statements are wrong? Because lack of trust नहीं होगा, because it is issued by RBI only. It is a legal tender only. Secondly, over reliance on cryptocurrency like mining. No, mining वाला crypto mining and all, that is a cryptocurrency based thing. ठीक है? Fine. The only problem with CBDC is this cyber fraud related problem. Okay? ठीक है. Then. CBDC is a legal tender that will help reduce operational costs, boost innovation in cross-border payments, quell concerns over money laundering, terror financing, and tax evasion. Which among the following is not a feature of CBDC? First, it is not fiat money but legal tender. It can't be freely converted to any commercial bank's money or notes to prevent bank runs at a time of crisis. It is non-fungible legal tender. 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. What is the correct answer? Hanji. C, 10th C you guys are saying. The correct answer is E and not C. Okay? 1, 2 and 3. Okay? All are correct over here. Now why? CBDC is a legal tender. Okay? Absolutely correct. It is a legal tender. For a legal tender, it should be a fiat currency. What is the meaning of fiat currency? That is, it is backed by the government. It has the legitimate thing over here. So it is a legal tender. It is definitely a legal tender, and for being a legal tender, you have to be a fiat currency. You should know the meaning of fiat currency. This is not wrong. It can be exchangeable one to one with fiat currency. Plus, you can exchange it for other currency. Okay? CBDC will be considered as medium of payment and legal tender by all three parties, by citizens also, government bodies, enterprises also. It will be converted to any commercial bank money or cash. It would be a fungible legal tender also. Fungible legal tender in the sense which is unique, for which holders need to have a bank account. So you will need to have a bank account, which will strengthen financial inclusion. Issuing CBDC allows central banks to move, to be more effective, satisfy public policy goals, include operational efficiency, financial stability, monetary policy effectiveness. So basically, all these are correct. Okay? Fine. So it is not fiat, but legal tender, it is fiat. Okay? And it is a Acha, wait. Here they're asking the correct option, है ना? So it is a fiat currency. This should be wrong, है ना? Right? So legal tender, it should be a fiat currency and exchangeable. So answer cannot be E. First is the wrong. It यहाँ पे लिखा है, it is not a fiat currency, but it is a fiat currency. It can't be freely. Acha. Okay. So the question is asking not the correct option, but the incorrect. Which of the following is not correct, है ना? Which of these are not correct? So all are not correct. Exactly. So it is not a fiat currency. This is wrong. It is a fiat currency. It can be freely converted and it is a fungible legal tender. Okay. Chaliye. Let's move forward. Question 11 to 14 is based on this paragraph. The X is a form of inflation. So you have to basically identify which form of inflation. I hope you've done the types of inflation. Right? Inflation, disinflation, deflation, skewflation, hyperinflation, galloping inflation, trotting inflation. And now there are different types of inflation: cost push inflation, demand pull inflation, crawling inflation, and all that, right? I hope you know that. So dash is the form of inflation that is large, accelerating, which might have annual rates in millions or even trillions. Y is the type of inflation which is usually in single digit. It is also called creeping inflation. Z is a very high inflation rate running in the range of double or triple digits. Germany has experienced X after the First World War. X मतलब जो सबसे पहले you were talking about type of inflation. Argentina is experiencing Z and India is experiencing Y. Now this is a paragraph. You have to basically identify what is X, what is Y, what is Z over here. Let's move towards the question. Which of the following is X? Galloping inflation, hyperinflation, core inflation, headline inflation, or bottleneck inflation. Let's read the first statement again. X is a form of inflation that is large, accelerating, which might have annual rates and millions or even trillion. So is it galloping inflation, hyper, core, headline, or bottleneck? And Germany has experienced this. Absolutely correct. So Germany का नाम सुन के ही you should know that the answer is hyperinflation. Hyperinflation बहुत fast, मतलब हर एक मिनट में prices change हो रहे हैं. जैसे जर्मनी में क्या हुआ था, bread का prices was changing every minute, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees. ठीक है? So Germany experienced hyperinflation after World War One when prices skyrocketed, leading to severe economic instability. ठीक है? Next है which type of inflation is Y. Galloping, hyper, low, headline, bottleneck. Let's read Y also again here. Y is a type of inflation which is usually a single digit, also called creeping inflation. तो बता दो इसमें से creeping क्या हो गया? Galloping, hyper, low, headline, bottleneck. Very easy question again. गैलोपिंग इज लाइक हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन ओनली आदि, ठीक है, गैलोपिंग होता है हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन ओनली, वो भी डबल डिजिट में ही होता है। हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन से भी एक सिस्टम आगे गैलोपिंग इन्फ्लेशन है। ओके, तो आपका आंसर ए तो नहीं होगा। वेरी गुड सत्यार्थ, लो इन्फ्लेशन, सिंगल डिजिट अगर है तो उसे हम लो इन्फ्लेशन कहते हैं, ठीक है। क्रीपिंग इन्फ्लेशन, लो इन्फ्लेशन, इन्फ्लेशन रेट आपका सिंगल डिजिट रहता है, कम रहता है। गैलोपिंग आपका हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन, गैलोपिंग, इन दोनों को हम इंटरचेंजेबली, या फिर गैलोपिंग इज इवन अ सिवियर फॉर्म ऑफ हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन ओनली। आई होप दिस इज क्लियर आदि, ठीक है। तो गैलोपिंग इन्फ्लेशन होता है लाइक हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन, बहुत ज्यादा डबल डिजिट्स में रहता है। लो इन्फ्लेशन इज लाइक क्रीपिंग इन्फ्लेशन, बहुत कम इन्फ्लेशन। हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन आपको पता है, जब हम इन्फ्लेशन कैलकुलेट करते हैं अबाउट एवरीथिंग, एवरी काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट। बॉटल नेक इन्फ्लेशन होती है कोई सप्लाई इशू की वजह से कोई चीज रोक रही है, बॉटल नेक क्रिएट कर रही है, प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रही है, दैट इज योर बॉटल नेक इन्फ्लेशन। ठीक है, यहाँ पे भी आई थिंक यही दी हुई है टर्म्स। कोर इन्फ्लेशन बस ये है व्हेन यू एक्सक्लूड फूड फ्यूल एंड एनर्जी, food fuel and energy prices, when you subtract it from headline inflation, you get what, you get कोर इन्फ्लेशन। ठीक है, तो जो भी वॉलेटाइल आइटम है उसको माइनस कर दिया तो कोर इन्फ्लेशन। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, 13th क्वेश्चन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज जेड, अगेन यू हैव द सेम काइंड ऑफ ऑप्शंस। जेड पे चलते हैं। जेड इज अ वेरी हाई इन्फ्लेशन रेट रनिंग इन द रेंज ऑफ डबल और ट्रिपल डिजिट्स। ठीक है, तो अब बता दो फिर जेड क्या है। हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन हो गया, हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन से भी नेक्स्ट लेवल, व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू, व्हाट इज द आंसर। फटाफट से यहाँ पे आप देख लीजिए ऑप्शन जेड में क्या है। गैलोपिंग, हाइपर, कोर, हेडलाइन, बॉटलनेक। जब हमने बोल दिया डबल और ट्रिपल डिजिट्स में जब इन्फ्लेशन हो रही है, डबल ट्रिपल डिजिट्स में, व्हाट इज द आंसर। एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, गैलोपिंग इन्फ्लेशन। ठीक है, फिर विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग एक्सक्लूड्स फूड एंड एनर्जी, ये भी आपको मैंने ऑलरेडी बता दिया। कोर इन्फ्लेशन, हेडलाइन इन्फ्लेशन, गैलोपिंग इन्फ्लेशन, हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन, बॉटलनेक इन्फ्लेशन। So food and energy, these are what? These are volatile items. तो volatile items को जब हम headline inflation में से माइनस कर देते हैं, what do we get? Core inflation, absolutely correct. ठीक है? So that is all from my side, everyone. I hope that these questions were clear to you. थोड़ा आपको clear हो गया है ये सब. You can connect with me beyond these sessions on Telegram as well. जो भी यहाँ पे नया है, this is my Telegram handle. ठीक है, so you can connect with me over here. You can also join the space to crash course if you want for RBI Grade B. If you want, you can enroll now. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, and I'll come up with the ESI score booster series also. Maybe tomorrow or day after. I will let you know as soon as possible. Okay? You're welcome, Adi, Satyarth. Have a good evening and take care.